Alright, so welcome back to, I believe this is part 9. I'm kind of starting to lose track of these videos. Today, we have a couple little things. The big thing are the coil packs. These are just junkyard coil packs. These are the square coil packs. So these are for your Gen 4 motors or your Gen 4 wiring harness. I know there's the cylinder ones, and I've heard the cylinder ones work too, but not too certain about that. So we just got these. Although I will say I did pull these off of Gen 3. I pulled these square coil packs off of a Gen 3, but these also work with the Gen 4s. At least I've been told they do, and I looked it up, and it says they do. And the plug is the same, so it's gonna work either way. But I did pull these off of a Gen 3, if you're curious. So maybe cylinder ones work too, but that's what I'm using. So we got them from a junkyard for about 140 bucks, so which is about the same price as you can get them from Rock Auto, but for like the cheapest, most like economy ones. So like the most like the cheapest one they got is 140 bucks. But I guess I'd rather have the factory ones than those cheap ones. So, and if these don't work, then I'll just buy new ones, and it's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. But right now, we are going to install these, and there are a couple things I did off camera. So we got this little filler neck right here, just to make filling it up a little bit easier. And also this. So we figured this out. I did this off camera. This was pretty easy actually. So I saved myself $1 because the adapter is about $40. Maybe you can pull it off. I want to break it. Okay, maybe let's just leave it because I don't want to break it. But where's the old one? I threw it over here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so this is the old map sensor connector. So this is for a Gen 4. I think this is for the later model Gen 4s because I pulled this sensor off of a Gen 4 actually, and it was the same plug as a Gen 3 plug, so I'm assuming this is like late model Gen 4 map sensor plug. But they sell an adapter where it's basically you plug something in here, they don't have the other pigtail on here, so they just plug into a Gen 3 or early model Gen 4 map sensor. So it is what it is. That I pulled this off of a Gen 4 Suburban though, so, and it had the same plug for this Gen 3. Wiring was fairly easy. Luckily, this wiring harness, the wire colors are the same for the most part. There's some areas where they aren't the same, but as far as the wires for this plug and the factory plug, these colors are the same. The only difference, instead of it being just a solid orange, is the factory's orange and black. So the way you wire it up, I looked up a wiring diagram. So this first photo I'm showing right now, that's for a 2012 Silverado. So that's for a Gen 4 map sensor. The second one right here, this is for a 2005 C5 Corvette, which would be your LS2. So as you can see, it's the same three wires, but the color orientation is different. So when you're wiring, so basically I cut this off the car, right, at the junkyard, and when you're wiring it in, you just want to basically just wire the orange to the orange, the green to the green, or the blue. It looks more like a greenish bluish, but green to the green, orange to the orange, gray to the gray. So as long as you get the color of wires going to each other correct, then it should work just fine. That's really all you got to do, because this plug is gray, orange, green, and this one is orange, green, gray. So you just gotta move them around. No big deal. It was pretty easy. So we got that in there. We taped it off. Try to make it look clean. I really do want this wiring harness to look clean. It looks clean right now. So even where I had to shave it over here. And we have the adapter for our, not the mass airflow, for the cam sensor. We got the adapter for this one coming in. This is for DOD. This is not DOD, or my bad, Vero valve timing. This is for a Vero valve timing cam sensor, and this is no Vero valve timing. I think I may still have the old plug over here to show, so I'll use this as an example to show you guys. So this little pigtail right here is the actual the cam. Ooh, the cam thingy. That's for the cam position sensor. That's the actual pigtail, and that's the plug that would plug into right here. Or my bad, this one right here. Because it's like a whole little mini harness, because this is for the valve timing. And I could honestly just cut this pigtail out, but it was like 20 bucks for the adapter, and then I don't have loose wires, so I just did that. I just opted for that because that's easier. So, although now that I'm looking at it, I literally could have just snip and then just used this, but oh well. I'm not gonna complain. I already bought it, so we're just gonna do that. But I guess, you know, if you wanted the smarter thing, you could just reuse this. Which now that I'm looking at it, I probably should have just done that. It would have been easier. Did I just drop it in the oil? Yes, I did. Nice. Okay. Back to this. But right now, we're going to throw on the brackets. So I literally got this from the junkyard. I took it all apart, cleaned it all up as best I could, so it doesn't look like I'm throwing on cheap used parts, even though it still looks like I'm throwing on cheap used parts. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. This is all very, very, very expensive, brand new, so just trying to cut corners where I can. And if you've been watching the video, you know I do cut corners, but only where I can. There are some areas important to know where you can't cut corners. So I'm assuming that's going right, just like that. So let's go ahead and bolt it up. We got gonna be these two. These 4 little stud-like bolts. I'm not sure whether they're like studs. I don't know why they can't just be like regular bolts. I probably could just switch them out for regular bolts, but I'm not going to. Alright, so got finished putting them all on. Went ahead and plugged them all up off camera. Everything plugs in pretty nicely. I zip tied them up where these little holes are in these brackets so they don't move much. And I relocated where I had these grounds because they were up here. I moved them down here to kind of tug the wiring harness this way a little bit, just to kind of take away any slack. And I got it all in between the fuel rail and the valve covers. It's nicely suspended up off the heads. Once it's all said and done, I should maybe be making contact with the heads. But yeah, it's on. It's looking good so far. This is all being pulled down right now because, you know, it is what it is. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for the wires for these knock sensors and the crank, because they get real close to the headers and also the block. So I'm thinking maybe I go around the headers and onto like the frame, like zip tied up to the frame something, just to keep it off the headers. And probably the next thing we will do, maybe, that's a big maybe, because well no, there's a thought about it, probably the next thing we do. But after that, we're gonna be getting some spark plugs, and we're gonna figure out what kind of angle coil or spark plug wires that we're gonna need, because obviously this flange is pretty thick, so probably get something angled, maybe something cut to size and try to pull any slack, and have to get some little heat wrap on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So thank you for watching. Be back for next episode, which is probably gonna be putting this throttle body on. Tomorrow I might clean up the block a little bit, try to make it look nice and clean. But yeah, throttle body gets here Tuesday. That'll be the next video. I'll see you then.